Join in with first team manager and assistant manager Chris Search and Danny Green for a bit of an off-season update a couple of days before we get back into pre-season. Firstly, fellas, how's life been the last 6-7 weeks? Obviously Searchy's been jetting around the world and Greenie, you've just been sat at home by the looks of it.
Yeah, I've been working hard. I've just been living the dream. So yeah, that's probably about it.
In a nutshell. Yeah, Abu Dhabi was great and Mallorca was wicked, yeah.
Well, we'll quickly swift on from your off-season adventures, looking ahead then to pre-season and the next season and all that stuff. But obviously, we'll do this. We've announced Melvin Minter, goalkeeper from Chesterfield. He's played for Harrogate and obviously Darlington as well in the National League North. How pleased are you two to get that one over the line and get an experienced keeper at this level into Concord?
Yeah, I'm really happy. I think when Melv become available, again, you know, I mentioned Lee Flavin who put us in contact with Melvin. You know, he ticked the box of what we felt we required this year. You know, obviously last year Miles was superb, but you know, obviously Miles was a young keeper, done brilliantly for us. But felt this year we wanted a bit more experience in the back line. Melvin, even though he's not played many competitive games, he's obviously been around it. You know, spoke to the Harrogate gaffer, got good feedback from Danny Webb at Chesterfield as well via contacts we got. Yeah, and so he ticked the boxes. You know, he's a good size. He's good with his feet. You know, good shot stopper. And a top lad, you know. So where we are with the group and what we're trying to build and add to from last year, he'll fit in lovely.
Greenie, anything to add?
I think it's a good addition. I think we, like Sergi said, we need we wanted an experienced goalkeeper. That's one thing that we definitely wanted to target, and I think Melvin ticks the boxes. So yeah, we're happy to get him on board.
Obviously, last season, I suppose maybe a frustration was maybe how naive we were defensively at times. Is that then bringing that experienced shot up hopefully going to help solve some of those problems?
I think so. I think.
Search, you just immediately looked to you to answer that one.
The tough one.
Thought it was alternating.
Yeah, no, I think. Yeah, we said one thing we were last year was naive, and that's just not down to the Miles. It's down to the back line. It's down to the whole squad. Sometimes we were just naive as a team, and I think we could have potentially got more points on the board because of our naivety. So yeah, it's one thing that we want to eradicate during pre-season. I think we've got a plan in place that we can do that. And yeah, Melvin's just another piece of the jigsaw that will help us do that, hopefully.
Obviously then, Melvin, the first one in the door, hopefully one of a few more. I suppose, are you still trying to get in a couple of players, or will there be a few trialists coming in over the next couple of weeks when pre-season starts again?
That was a tough one. So I was going to lob it your way.
That's the contact.
No, now, to be honest, we're trying to focus really on the core group that we've retained. I felt last year maybe overdone it with trialists and felt that I spent a lot of energy and time fittering around and you know what it's like, chatting, WhatsApps, you know, people wanting feedback, blah blah blah. You know, this year I think we've got a very clear focus of what we want and what we require from the group. You know, we're looking to streamline that to go more quality opposed to quantity. So there will be trialists, of course, but you know, I'm not going to bump the group up with sort of 7, 8 at a time, because I think it dilutes the what we want to achieve and the group in general. So for us, we'll have a couple coming in. And it'll be very quick, I think, in all honesty. I'm not going to have people loitering around the group for 4 weeks on a time. If we make our decision, we're going to be a bit more brutal, if you like. But no, I think where we are at the moment, you know, we've done our business early in the window, if you like, in terms of retaining what we wanted. You know, we knew we was close to a very good team last year. I mean, we were a very good team at times, but we knew, you know, with a couple of additions and a bit of experience, we're very, very close, we believe. So, you know, I think we're biding our time now. We don't need to unnecessarily rush in. I know some of the fans, and you know, 3 or 4 of them are probably a little bit maybe frustrated with lack of signings. But you know, we are working, but we're working with a very stringent and tight game plan. You know, we're not you know, casting our rods everywhere to try and sort of get anyone in. You know, we know who we want. We've spoken, we've targeted who we want. So you know, just a bit of patience, I think, now is key.
So you've touched on a lack of news, but I suppose that comes about when you have announced your retained list within a week of the season ending, isn't it?
I think that just shows how strong the group was. I think that's how strong we finished the season as well. I think we said we finished 10 points off the playoffs last year. We said to players at the end of the season, like we'd give you 5 points, you give us 5 points, and that's where we'd hopefully aim to the playoffs and feel like we probably let ourselves down a little bit not to get in there, if I'm being honest. So the boys that we signed on, the 12 or 13 that we retained straight away was a real positive. And it looks like we haven't done much business, but when you look at the business we have done, we've put Nanakai down as well on a contract for a season. So someone like him, for us as a group, a management group, to get someone like that on board for another season is great business, I think. So the thing that we're not blessed with unlimited resources. We have to bring players in, and we have to develop them as players as well. So that's one thing that we have to do. So we can't just bring in a player on a certain amount of money and expect. We have to actually develop these players and try to develop these players so they go on to help Concord and then go and help their career hopefully higher up the pyramid. So what the kind of players we want to bring in, we targeted some players. We spoke to a lot of players, but the players that we actually want to target, we're still in negotiations with them. So yeah, it's looking positive.
Moving on then, pre-season starts this weekend. Sounds like you're going to be doing a hell of a lot of running on Saturday morning. What are your kind of, from the first couple of weeks before we start playing those games, what are you hoping to get out of the players? Just boost their fitness level so they can go straight into that first game against Canvey Island?
Yeah, for us, I think we have loaded up with a few more games this year. I think there's nothing better than sort of match fitness, as much as we try and, or Danny and Shippo try and tailor the sessions to make it sort of as much game realistic as possible. There's nothing more effective than actually playing in a game and getting that match fitness. But the boys, Danny and Shippo, Danny's been about and played, so he knows what's good and what's expected of a group. So the sessions will be, as much as they're going to be tough, they should be enjoyable for sure as well. So I'm hopeful. Then we're going to Canvey. As I say, pre-season for me is what pre-season is, as much as we will obviously want to perform. I think we got to keep it real, and pre-season is exactly that. We're out there to get match fitness and make sure that our focus is on that first game of the season in August. That we're ready. So I'm not too fussed really how the pre-season goes in terms of results for that. But it's all for that focus. Like last year was all driven towards that first game against Dawkins. So see what.
And obviously, I'm looking at the pre-season schedule on my phone. It's quite a varied one with a couple of teams from Step 4 and then Step 3, and obviously then Daggers and Southend, as well as Peterborough Sports, who've just been promoted to National League Not quite a varied one. What is it behind all that? Just getting as many games as possible? Was there a very particular type of teams that we wanted to be playing?
No, not really. I think we've got relationships with clubs. I think we've sorted out Dagenhams and the Southends, because obviously they're higher opposition. It'll be a tough test for the boys. But one that I think they can deal with quite well, and it'll be a good test for them. Then we've gone with obviously lower teams that we want to just potentially have a look at other players and people like that. So, and then we've put Peterborough Sports in as well. We've always played them the last couple of seasons there, and they're a really strong team, really good test, really good players, good management team. And I think we struggled against them the last couple of seasons in pre-season. So it's one of those where we definitely want to play them again, because we want to. We're live on BBC One here.
Can you just hold it a second?
Yeah, please, go on, Jack.
If you hear the alarms going off, don't panic.
All right.
This will be in service.
Okay.
He has to set everything. You're in a lot of noise.
All right, thank you, mate.
Again, you touched on Peterborough Sports, obviously a relationship we built on quite well. I want to touch on them because I know we built on that relationship. They've recruited for their first season in Step 2. I personally thought they've recruited quite well. What about you two?
Yeah, I think if you look at Jimmy and the management team, I think he's been building that sort of that bit of momentum, if you like, over the last sort of few years. I think obviously COVID obviously probably didn't help them, but I think before that was a really, really strong side. I think they went into last season obviously one of the favourites, had to do it the hard way, if you like, via the playoffs, but then having come through that, they seem to have gone again. Good signing, I think, yesterday, the lad from Kerin, Johnson, is it? Yeah. Which obviously a statement of their intent, and I think they've added, retained a lot of their players. Gash, I saw, was one that was signed, and retained a lot of their players that they actually played the end of the season with. So, a couple of shrewd additions as he's doing, and I think Jimmy will have a very, very good team again, and in a really, really tough league, that Northern League.
Obviously then 6 or 5 or so weeks to go to the season starts, busy pre-season schedule up ahead. What are you looking forward to? What are the games that we're looking forward to most going into 22-23? Any of the new boys, or are we sticking with the derbies of like Chelmsford and stuff like that?
Billericay for me. Oh,
We tried to play in pre-season.
yeah, my bad.
No, I think the derby games. I think obviously Chelmsford's a big game for Concord, and then I think other clubs have strengthened well this season as well. Like look at Bath. Bath are a big club and for this level, and they probably underachieved last year, but they've got a good manager and they've signed some really good players as well. So they're going to be strong. You've got Welling that I hear potentially are going full time, and they've signed Adi Aziz as well. So they've signed some good. So this year is going to be a really tough league. So, but it's one that we're looking forward to. I think you've got teams like Worthing, Taunton, them kind of teams as well. Weymouth as well. So it's a big league.
I think you look at Dover as well. I think what I'm hearing about Dover, they're going to be one of the big spenders. Ebbsfleet obviously will be up there. So there's going to be some absolute wicked games again this year. Hopefully we'll be amongst it and do what we need to do. But there's going to be some monsters. So excited for the season to start and looking forward to training on Saturday.
There we go. Gentlemen, perfect. Thank you very much. You've tied that up quite well. Remember, 13 games free if you buy a season ticket. Best value in the league.
Absolutely.
We will see you on Saturday morning. Yeah.
Maverick.